This is the new second generation version of the lovely Skoda Kodiaq, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it. I'm Matt Watson and you're watching CarWow. Let's start this video with the design of the Kodiaq. So it has been redesigned, but it's still very familiar as a Skoda Kodiaq, but it's just got this new look light bar. There's some sharper creases, no sign of fake exhaust anywhere. Moving down the side, and there's a little bit of a boot lip spoiler there. Strong creases, alloy wheels start at 18 inches, but you can get up to 20 inches. Whoa. We've got shiny roof bars here on this particular car, and then at the front you can see quite a big change over the previous generation car. Just looks a bit more modern, but still once again very recognizable as a Skoda Kodiaq. I do like these creases in the bonnet, just give it some added presence. Now obviously the trim does change depending on which model you go for. It all looks rather nice, well, for a 7-seater SUV anyway. There is one problem though, the colour choice is a little bit bland. These are the only paint schemes you can get this car in, and that's your lot. Anyway, let's check it out on the inside. The interior design of the Kodiaq is all neat and tidy, not overly done. It's quite conservative, but still rather nice. I mean, some people might not like the fact you've basically got an iPad stuck on the dash, but it's reasonably bright, running Apple CarPlay wirelessly at the moment, but obviously you have inbuilt nav and all that kind of stuff, and it's quite logically laid out. It's not the most responsive, but it's fine. Digital driver's display, once again, it's fine, and you can scroll through different views and stuff like that with it. One thing I really like though, proper physical controls for the climate, so turn it up, and by pressing on these I can actually cycle through different things, and I can choose what it does between various parameters. So look, I can like change that, I can change that, even operate the volume for the main stereo system as well. We can also control the seat heating and the temperature over here as well. Like that a lot. Like the overall design as well, and the material quality generally is really quite good. Soft and yielding for your arms and your elbows. It's only when you go a bit lower down do things get a bit scratchy, and this is a bit wobbly, but I don't mind because once again it's lined with soft touch material, so if you rest your knee on it, doesn't hurt it. Seats, yeah, they're quite big, but they're nice. They fit me well, and there's plenty of adjustment in the driving position as well. I also like the fact that the drive select is here on the steering column. It's just so much easier when you're manoeuvring, really like that. There's lots of storage as well in this car, so we've got huge door bins lined with felt so things don't rattle about in there. Underneath here there's some more storage. We've got some more storage here. I'll update you on these bits later, don't look too much right now. In here you have two wireless charging stations, and then there's two USB-Cs there as well. Glove box is a reasonable size, and lo and behold there's another one up there as well. Looking up here we have big sun visors, large vanity mirror, and the all-important padded sunglasses holder. Oh, don't forget this, ISOFIX anchor points on the front passenger seat, so you can have your child next to you if you desire. 12-volt battery load, please consult owner's manual. I'm not looking at a manual. Here in the back, the first thing to note is that things have got a little bit cheaper. So, we've got scratchy plastics here now, and no felt lining in the door bin. Door bins are still huge, look. I can fit a big bottle here in the back, just like you can fit one in the front door bin. That's good. Does this go all the way down? I think it will, I think it will. Yeah, look at that. See, this is a practical family car, and yes, there's room for your family in this. Loads of headroom. Knee room's pretty decent. You've got the facility to be able to slide the chairs forwards and backwards. Oh, it's the battery warning again. I wonder if I'm actually going to be able to drive this car. Anyhow, yeah, lots of adjustment there, and you can recline the seats as well. Also, because the front seats are raised up, you can really stretch your feet out underneath them. Because the Kodiaq's body is reasonably wide and there's plenty of foot space, it's reasonably okay with 3 adults in the middle row at once. I wish there were 3 individual chairs, but there's not. So this one is linked, can you see? Bit of a shame. You do have, oh look, 3 cup holders there, the armrest, and come on, you can fold down this part separately as well for through loading. Speaking of which, look, you've got ISOFIX anchor points here and here, very easy to get to. There's loads of space for fitting a child seat. You can tell there's loads of room. We've got some pockets here on the seat backs. We've got some USB-Cs there. We've got a 12-volt socket there. We've got climate control for this section of the car as well. All very good, but let's go into the final back, the very end, the 3rd row. Okay, so, right, I'm just going to go like this and clamber aboard. See what it's like. Yep. Right, okay. What I'm going to do is move this one out the way. Okay, so, okay, right. Let's get someone sat there. Jack, let's just get you in there. Now Jack is, how tall are you, Jack?
I'm 6'3".
Okay, so 6'3", quite large. Can you move your chair any way forward? There we go. So it's a little bit snug for me. Headroom's pretty tight as well. These are really only occasional chairs for adults. I mean, you could fit small children back here, but I think the new Hyundai Santa Fe is just more roomy in the third row. And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there. I'll follow the link in the description below. Alternatively, if you watch on smart TV, just scan the QR code on screen now using your mobile phone. Oh, look, there are a few places where you can store things. And there's a cup holdery thing there. That's not the same as that side. Why? The asymmetry is annoying me. Anyway, let's check out the boot. Check it out, this car has keyless entry for the boot. It actually works. This is nice. With all 7 seats in place, you have 340 litres of space, which is about the same as a Volkswagen Polo's boot, which is quite good, isn't it? Okay, you've got some storagey areas under here. And look, space saver spare wheel, yes! And this is a place where you can store the load cover. That's good. More about the load cover a bit later on though, which isn't so good. Now, if you fall down the third row, this is one annoying thing about it. Yeah, you can't fold them down unless you have the front seats forward like that. I'll go to the other side. Right. Now I can fold them down and then put them back. Farfetch. Right, now I have over 800 litres of space. However, if I had the 5-seater version of this, I'd have over 900 litres of space in the boot. So very big, practical, useful boot, which is good. And then if I want to fold the middle row down, or the back row if you've got the 5-seater, I can pull on this here. Oosh. Oh, but now I'm going to go around again to lock it in place. And then you have a reasonably flat low bed, which is quite large, isn't it? Very useful. The only problem is if you go for the hybrid version, then the overall boot capacity is reduced because you've got like batteries and stuff under here. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the Skoda Kodiaq. This particular car has done just over 6,000 miles and already it's developed a few faults. If you look over in the door, you'll see the ambient lighting there, here on the dash, and it should match up here on the passenger door, but for some reason this lighting strip has ceased to work. And then there's the stereo. So the driver's side front speaker seems to vibrate, especially when people are talking on the radio. Have a listen to this.
I would always, well, I mean, firstly, I would always raise concerns about the money spent in American politics, because I think
because of the design of the windscreen, no. Yeah, the design of the bonnet, the windscreen wipers sit underneath it. So if you have someone who's going to clean your car, they might just grab the windscreen wiper to pull it up to do underneath them on the windscreen, and you can scratch all the paintwork on your bonnet. All you have to do is press a button on here, go into vehicle. Where is it now? Or is it here? God, see what I mean? It's vehicle. Service. No. Windscreen wiper position. There we go. That's what you do. And now you can wash the screen or mess around with the windscreen wipers. But you get the idea. This is the kind of car you do lots of miles in, so obviously it gets adaptive cruise control as standard. Oh, wait a minute, it doesn't, does it? It's an £800 option. Let's say you're using your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto for navigation and you think, I know, I want to change the temperature, so you go ahead and do that. You then lose your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto when it comes back. Now, in that period of time, you could have just missed an all-important junction. It'd be very frustrating. For these goods, I'm just going to run you through Skoda's simply clever features that you get on the Kodiaq. So here we have an eye scraper in the fuel filler cover. Then you have this little thing in here. Look, it's got a nozzle on it, and I can use that too. Oh. Helps if you take it out of the case. Anyway, you can spray the screen, and then this is a cloth-like material, and then you can use it to clean the screen to get rid of the grubby fingerprints. Look at that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. There's the umbrella in the door. Look at that. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Don't know, I'll have to illustrate putting it up, but I feel like I have to. Then there's the parking ticket holder there, so I'll just slot my ticket in there. It's not mine actually. Seems that somebody has been late night shopping at Palace Gardens. Lovely. There's an inbuilt funnel on the cap for the windscreen washer fluid. Look at that funnelage. It's not quite big enough. There's little grippers in that cup holder which grip onto the bottom of the bottle, so you should be able to open it one-handed. That's the theory, and yes, it works. Look, plus you can double up on cup holders by just doing this. What was 2 is now 4. You can get the Skoda Kodiaq with a choice of these engines. There is a 1.5 litre turbo petrol with this much horsepower, but you can get a plug-in hybrid version of that car which has this much horsepower and can drive this far on electric power alone. Then there is a 2 litre diesel with this much horsepower, or you can get a 2 litre diesel with 4-wheel drive, and that car has this much horsepower. All versions of the Kodiaq come with an automatic gearbox. There are no manuals available. So what's my favourite version of the Skoda Kodiaq? Well, I've configured my perfect car using the carwow configurator, pick my favourite engine, my favourite trim level. And if you want to find out what that is exactly and the saving on that car through carwow, then click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right hand corner of the screen now, or if you're watching on a smart TV, just scan the QR code on screen now using your mobile phone. If you're changing your car, then you've got to check out carwow, because there's nothing quite like knowing that you're getting a great price, both when selling your old car and finding a new one. Carwow makes all the stuff that's hard work about car changing, like the haggling, the no-shows, and the nasty surprises, a thing of the past, life-changing. Now, if you want to go to carwow right now, I'll put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, or scan the QR code on screen using your mobile phone to go directly there. Car change, carwow. The Kodiaq is quite a big and long car, but thankfully it doesn't feel intimidating to drive around narrow British village streets. So you'll be fine like commuting in town with it and stuff like that. Because the visibility is good, so quite a low dash, you sit reasonably high, so the view forward is good. That pillar is quite thick, so a bit of a blind spot, but you can look around it because the door mirror is mounted on the door, and the mirrors are quite big. View out the back window is good, and there's not much of a blind spot in the core panel either, because you've got like lots of windows back there. Does that make sense? Hope it does. It's also easy to drive because the steering is nice and light. That helps. The brakes, they're not grabby, they're smooth but strong. It's what you want. And the suspension is generally pretty comfortable. It does have a slightly firmer edge than something from Peugeot or Citroën, but it's by no means uncomfortable. Though be warned, the larger the wheels, the less comfort. But there is a way to improve things, more on that in a bit. And I'm going to tell you about something actually that does annoy me when driving this car around town. But it's not the turning circle, because it's 11.2 meters, which is very good for this class of vehicle. I don't think it's good enough to get me around this gap here because this is super tight, but you know, I'm always one for a challenge. Let's give it a go. Have I got the surround view cameras? Where are they? Where are they? Where's the cameras? No. Right, I'll whack it in reverse quickly. There we go. Can I get round? This is not going to happen, this car here, but the surround view cameras are helping. You get whee, super close. And I love having the gear selector here, like you have on Mercedes. It's just so much easier when it's there rather than pulling a lever down there. So hard to fault in town, apart from this, right? The gearbox can be a little bit sluggish when you put your foot down, when you suddenly want to pull away. So let's say, oh, I need to get out of the way. This person here, I'm going to throw the throttle. I mean, that like took ages. You heard the pedal slap into the floor mat, and there was a delay of like a second or two, and there's a yeah, and that means you can just be left floundering at junctions. You know, when you're pulling out a roundabout and there's cars coming, it's a little bit frightening. Oh, they need to sort that out. Now I'm going to see if the gearbox is also sluggish when you suddenly need to accelerate, say to join a motorway. So I'm cruising at 40. I'm going to floor it in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that wasn't so bad there. And this 2 litre diesel pulls pretty nicely. You do get a bit of a grumble from it. That's a bit like, and if you have the 1.5 petrol, that's really not any quieter. That's quite noisy as well when you thrash it, which is a bit of a shame, because otherwise the car is reasonably quiet. There's not too much road noise or wind noise. It's good at cruising as well. Yeah, feels solid at speed. I like it. And economy, look, it's 2 litre diesel, 4-wheel drive, 45 miles to the gallon. I do like a diesel for this kind of thing, I really do. Last thing to test is how well the Skoda Kodiaq handles some corners. So, It's a bit damp and slippery, but you know, it's all right, this. I'm at the speed limit, went around the corner, it was fuss-free. It's all you really need. It leans a little bit if you're going really quickly. I think a Volkswagen Tiguan has a slightly sportier edge, but do you care? And if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the QR code on screen now. And this brings me back to that point I mentioned earlier. You can actually get this with optional adaptive dampers, and that allows you to stiffen up the suspension. So if you need it to be a little bit sharper, you can do that at the press of a button. But the main reason for getting it is that it actually improves the comfort levels further, and it's well worth the extra £1,000. Now, most people won't fit it, they just don't. But trust me on this, I drive loads of cars. Those adaptive dampers are definitely worth the money, so get them. I've just noticed I'm changing gears myself using the pedals. I wonder if any Skoda Kodiaq drivers will do that. I think I'm only doing it because I'm a motoring journalist. Right, I'm going to stop that nonsense now and just drive like every other Kodiaq driver will. One thing that is a bit bonkers about this car is the fact that Skoda has given it launch control. Why? Anyway, let's test it, right? Let's see what the 0 to 60 time is. No problem with traction there, thanks to the four-wheel drive system of this model. And we are there. 7.5 seconds. That's actually pretty good, isn't it? Now, Skoda quote 8 seconds to 62 miles an hour. So, I'm pleased with that. Launch control, though. You've got to admire them, haven't you? So then, what's my final verdict on the new Skoda Kodiaq? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist it. It really is a good, all-round, spacious family car. It's just a shame it's a little bit cramped in the third row. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to watch some other videos, click on the video windows. And if you want to see how much money you can save on your next car, then click on the CarWow logo. Thanks for watching.